All right, welcome in. Evan Marinofsky here. Bruins, Canes, Game 4. This one was again. You and I are texting, Evan, during this game, and your piece is 85% written, and it's Halak sucks, and they can't get anything done without Pasternak, and then boom, 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 boom. Uh,
Ugh.
as fun a third period as we've seen, 4 goals in under 6 minutes. DeBrusk, Clifton, Marchand, DeBrusk, just an amazing third period there. And again, a lot of it started, and again, we talked about it offline. Great speed play by DeBrusk breaking in there. Monstrous hit by McAvoy on Jordan Staal. Massive momentum shift. And I mean, the Bruins, even before that, dominating that period. So what happened there? How did they flip the switch like that?
Well, again, you mentioned it. It was the goal by DeBrusk, and it was the hit by McAvoy. But if you go before that, in the beginning of the third period, the Bruins started the period on the power play, and they had a chance with Reimer down and out. Marchand shoots it, goes off Reimer's pad once or twice, had an open net, missed it. And I think it was that moment where it's like, oh my God, we actually cannot score a goal. And in the Bruins' head, they're thinking, this isn't working. And so the DeBrusk goal, again, all speed, all hustle, that bit of skill. And for a guy like DeBrusk, who's been fighting it all series long, kind of been the epitome of that team not scoring 5-on-5, scores that flying goal. And then McAvoy, I think this gets overlooked a little bit, but McAvoy's hit was huge, not just for the momentum shifter, but it took Jordan Staal out of the game. Their number one shutdown center took him completely out of the game. So you mix those together, and then you have Connor Clifton, of all people, who just buzzes around the ice like it's nothing.
Dot.
That thing was an absolute missile.
That was a dot.
And you put those together,
yeah,
and you have a comeback. And once that goal went in from Clifton, it was, okay, the Bruins are going to have this one in the bag. This is a classic Bruins comeback. But again, just an incredible first 5-10 minutes of that third period.
They've had games like this, too, in the past where all of a sudden it's just – and then you see it. And that's what's so amazing is you see this team and they go through periods like the first two and you get that vibe. Oh, my goodness, they're never going to score. All the shots are from the perimeter. There's shots, but no real chances. It doesn't feel – nothing is – everything is just dead center. And then, mix in not so great goaltending, or you don't have your number one back there anyway, is not going to bail you out of a lot of games. And you start to get this vibe of like, ugh, this isn't going to go great. And then you have this where you see them at their absolute best, buzzing. I mean, even without all the goals, the period itself, that's the most lopsided single period of play I can remember, possibly this entire season. Complete tilted ice, 16-0 in shots until Carolina squeaks that crappy goal there late in the period. I mean, do you remember the last time a team was shut out in the third period with shots? That almost happened.
Well, so this is what I was about to say. You know what this game reminded me of? The Bruins' experience in the bubble as a whole. Because the round robin, the exhibition plus the round robin, they get absolutely trounced. They look terrible. All the shots are from the perimeter. They're not scoring, all that stuff. And then they say, we're going to ramp it up. We're going to ramp it up. We're going to ramp it up. And we all sit here going, what are you talking about? You're going to ramp it up after 4 months of nothing and expect to come out against the Hurricanes of all teams and just turn it on? And they turned it on against the Hurricanes. They're up 3-1 in the series. And now you take it to this game, a microcosm of all that. First two periods, they look terrible. All the shots are from perimeter. They're not scoring. They can't finish 5-on-5. Where's Pasternak? Where's Rask? My game story was written, blah, 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 blah. And then in the third period, they just turn it on. Yeah. And lo and behold, 4 goals. They take out the other team's top center, and they're up 3-1 in the series. So it's kind of a microcosm of the whole thing.
Yeah, and again, it's just the goals were so pretty. DeBrusk's goal was gorgeous. With Clifton there again, he that absolute bomb. But they're buzzing, a lot of pressure in front of the net. Beautiful. I love, one of my favorite things in hockey is that off the boards clear out pass there to Marchand. Boom, sends him in. Beautiful. Sends him in on the breakaway. And then the tic-tac-toe passing that sets up DeBrusk there for the 4th goal. They just looked like a machine there. And that you felt like if this period were 30 minutes long, they would have scored 11 goals. I mean, that's how that's what the vibe felt like. I was texting with a couple buddies at 2-2, and we were saying this game ends 5-2. It had that kind of feel where this was probably the first time the entire series where it looked like one team didn't belong on the ice with the other. And then again, you think back to who the Bruins were during the year. This is in their bag. This is who they are and can be at times, a dominant team, both with puck possession and the ability to kind of cycle it in their own. They did all the things that you've seen them do when they're at their best. And it reminds you like, this is a team that almost wire to wire was the best team in hockey in the regular season.
What's so funny is this is a team that's always done well with adversity. They have, the past, even just under Cassidy, the past 3 years, they're so good at coming back in games. And we forget, we're in this moment of, no Rask, no Pastrnak. What is Pastrnak's status? Is Rask going to be a Bruin forever? What's the deal here? And we forget, this team's actually pretty good. And they're also really good at coming back in games. And that's exactly what happened in Game 4. And the fact and the adversity they faced in this game was Halak was hot garbage. Jaroslav Halak, you could not rely on for any saves. I mean, the first period, the first shot he faces goes in after all that pressure in the other zone. Second period, you have all that pressure in the offensive zone, come down. Yep. Martinook scores, on a shot that should be saved, and Cassidy even said that. And the third goal, as you said, was the first shot of the period, of that third period. Just squeaks between his legs.
More of a pass that trickles through, yeah.
It was. So the fact that they could come back from that, the fact they overcame all of that to win in Game 4, I don't see how the Hurricanes mount any sort of comeback in this series. Just the way the Bruins are right now, the hot streak that they're on, doesn't bode well for Carolina, because that third period was a backbreaker for them, because if just off the first 2 periods, they looked like they had it in the bag. Yeah. So the fact that happened, to me, means the series is probably over in 5 or 6.
Again, an effort like this, sustained even without Pastrnak, again, you see the talent level certainly on the Bruins is a notch above Carolina. And we've talked about it. I think Carolina's really got to grit and grind it out in order to get goals. So you feel like that magic number is pretty much 3 for the Bruins,
Yeah.
3, maybe 4. But I mean, again, we don't know if Pastrnak is coming back. Again, if he's 50-50 for this game, guesses he's probably going to be pretty close to a game time decision. So again, comes into do you stretch it? Do you try to get away with it? Do you try to sneak out this series without him? If he has a lingering injury, as we've discussed, it needs time. Maybe you do. I'm kind of at 2-2. It's a different story. At 3-1, you may opt to wait, but you're getting him back at some point. What we don't know, and again, this is the only negative or the downside here, is Halak is what he is, and he played a solid game, his first game in place of Tuukka. But you said hot garbage. These were soft goals. You can't allow multiple goals like this in a playoff game. It can cost you a game. It can cost you a series, and it's just it just shatters a team's confidence when you don't have full faith in the guy behind you. So again, it could have been an off day, but are you worried about Halak going forward and the Bruins having sustained success?
No, I'm not. And here's why. With a guy like Halak, you have to be prepared for these games. This is not this isn't Tuukka Rask. This is not the consistency. I know Halak's consistent in the regular season, but he does have those stretches of time where he isn't great. And he also is pretty sheltered in the games he's playing. He's playing every game from now until when they lose four in a series. Right. He is not getting any rest. So you have to expect some nights where Halak is going to look not so great. It's just going to happen. And it's performances like that third period that the Bruins are going to have to rely on to get over those humps, to get over those tough nights. And that's what we saw tonight. And again, it's a microcosm of the round robin. It's a microcosm of what they're about to face with Halak in net.
So we'll see. They're back at it. It's 3-1. Series shifts back to Boston. Not really, but again, 3-1 cushion here. They've got 3 chances to close this out. Game 5 is Wednesday at a weird time. It's
4 p.m. 4 p.m.
So we'll be back for that, and then we'll see what kind of happens tomorrow. We'll keep you updated with all the Pastrnak news and all your Bruins needs. Evan Marinofsky will be leading the way. So for Evan, I'm John. We will see you guys on Wednesday.